Well, hello there, beautiful people. It's Trina. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time. I apologize. I haven't fallen off the planet. I've just been busy. I got a new job and I've been taking my health as a priority, as you can see by the new dumbbells that I bought for myself and some other exercise equipment. And I've been doing it. I'm pretty proud of myself. The diet, on the other hand, there's work to be done, let's just put it that way. In any case, I am still smelling on a daily basis. I've got lots of new perfumes and I'm enjoying old ones, but as usually happens when I don't go on YouTube for a while, I end up using up scents before I have a chance to share them with you. So without further ado, I'm going to share with you today this Armaf bottle, which is just about empty here. Overall, I'm impressed with this one, but not so much with the bottle or the texture of the scent itself. Parfum de Marley's Delina and Delina Exclusif are fragrances that became as hyped up as probably Baccarat Rouge 540 and the 540 Exclusif did back in the day, a while ago now. But much as I had a deep love for Baccarat Rouge 540, I never really fell onto the Parfum de Marley bandwagon for Delina. Although I did get samples and I do enjoy it, I just never thought it worth to cough up the money. And so of course when this guy came out a few months ago, well more than a few months ago now, I think it came out early 2022 or late 2022, but I bought it about, I don't know, 8 months ago. I've used up the whole thing. I've really enjoyed it. This is obviously much cheaper than Delina. The prices have gone up of recent, but when I bought it, they were still pretty low. Oh, the vanilla laced lychee or lychee. Lychee? Lychee? They're both good. No. Did I say what this thing is called? Club de Nuit White Imperiale, I think is the name. It just says Impériale here, but obviously it's white. You can see how decrepit the bottle has become, so let's begin with the negatives of this fragrance, starting with the tangibles like this nasty container. The bottle is part of the Club de Nuit line, which all have the same base-shaped bottle and pendant thingy, which is glued when you get it but quickly becomes loose when all the juices from inside melt and destroy everything on the outside. My last bottle from this line was Club de Nuit Intense, the one for men, I think, which was a great dupe for Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, by the way. The bottle is annoyingly heavy, gaudy, and far from well sealed. It leaked the whole time I used it. And even though I tried to keep it clean after random drips and spills, the juice still penetrated its casing and melted the synthetic coating and paint on this vessel. The juice itself is also rather slippery with a high oil content, but thankfully it's not dark in color, so I didn't stain anything. I usually sprayed it on my pants and the inside of my clothes because after seeing how the liquid attacked my bottle, I didn't really want it anywhere near the jewelry around my neck. That's perhaps a bit of paranoia though, because as you may know, the acid in Coca-Cola can clean up a penny, and many of us chug back that stuff without hesitation, so nobody's died from it directly anyway. Putting it on my clothes and not on my person helped the scent last longer. Even longer, I should say. This performs pretty well. Now the juice inside really does smell like Delina, perhaps more of a mix of Delina and Delina Exclusif, but it's harsher and it's more cloying. And you have to give it room to breathe right after you spray it, or you could give yourself a headache. I also found that although it's strong for the first part of its life, for me personally, it does morph it into a skin scent, but that probably won't be the case for all of you, unless you too experience a modicum of anosmia when it comes to artificial musks, and I think there's artificial musk in here. I find that this stuff smells best in the air, in the form of sillage when you move around. Here are the notes. Yeah, similar vibe to Delina indeed, but there's no rhubarb in here. I would never have guessed that that is the key difference. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint what the difference is, but it isn't exactly the same. But I didn't think rhubarb had anything to do with it. It does smell, I thought it had that rhubarb quality. But anyway, This is a strong tropical blast of flowers, vanilla, citrusy lychee, and other fruits that are so bright, it's like a nuclear bomb. It's got a fluffy yet unassuming refreshing rose with a tasty and creamy dry down. My guess is that you're going to wear compliments when wearing this, and as you do with Delina. I did. Now, aside from the bottle and the oily texture, if you don't like sweet, powdery, and fruity florals, you can pass on this one. You might also find it screechy and sharp for your tastes, especially in the beginning. But if you're a raving Delina fan, I would like to suggest you try this one out. It's certainly gentler to your wallet. Armaf fragrances don't tend to disclose their perfumers. They're not the pop stars of many mainstream brands, but that doesn't mean they're not talented. The fragrances do tend to be harsh and oily, but they are performance queens and definitely more affordable than the mass-produced, poor-performing, cash-grabbing so-called luxury fragrance house offerings. And they also offer alternatives to those who crave niche fragrances but simply can't afford them. And let's face it, these days, that's more and more of us. Just recently, I wanted to buy a bottle of Angel Nova because I smelt it last time I was back in Canada for the first time, and I actually surprisingly really loved it. But my goodness, the prices here are just insane. And of course, part of that has to do with the weak yen. But let's face it, I think inflation is hitting all of us. Anyway, there's no excuse not to enjoy fragrances because we do have brands like this around. So that's it. Smell you later, my lovelies. Scent Gourmand, signing out. Mwah.